It was another wild Sunday night in the NFL, and we're going to talk about why Chiefs fans should be worried. They drop another game, they lose to the Buffalo Bills, and we're going to talk about that right now with NFL insider Isaiah Stanback. What's up, everybody? I'm Daniella Bruce, and this is a Locked On Now Insider Report. Joining me is Locked On NFL insider Isaiah Stanback. Isaiah, as I said before, a very wild night in the NFL. Sunday Night Football never seems to disappoint. We wrap up another week, and it was an AFC Championship rematch between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, but this time, a different result. Buffalo coming away with a 38-20 victory at Arrowhead, and this is now Buffalo's fourth straight win. Just how impressed are you with this Bills team?
I'll tell you what, Bills Mafia is they're live and rolling. These guys are balling out. Josh Allen is taking care of the ball. He's helping his team move down the field. They're just putting up points. These guys are absolutely destroying it on that side of the ball. They're averaging 34 points per game. I repeat, 34 points per game, and they're only allowing just over 12 points per game. So these guys are on a roll. The tides has turned in the AFC.
Yeah, I think so too. And you mentioned that they're on a roll. I saw Stephon Diggs and teammates kind of dancing on the sideline in the last few minutes of the game. They're definitely playing with some swagger, and Josh Allen included in that. This Bills offense seems to be unstoppable. Where does Josh Allen stand right now in your MVP race?
He's taking care of business, and ultimately your job as a quarterback is to help your team win games. He's not necessarily killing it statistically. I think he's only averaging over 63% of his passes, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. As you look at a clear comparison between him and Patrick Mahomes, Mahomes has 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he's averaging over 72%. So I think he's doing a great job in terms of helping his team succeed. But we both know when it comes down to the MVP statistics, those things matter.
Yeah, his statistics may not have been that great leading up to tonight, but he definitely won me my week in fantasy this week. So I was pretty excited with his stat line heading out of tonight's game. So that was great. But the Chiefs, on the other hand, now have a losing record. They're 2-3. How concerned should Chiefs fans be?
Chiefs fans don't need to go crazy. I know that they've been spoiled over the past years because of the success of this organization. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and his supporting cast they're probably still the most explosive and most dangerous offense in the league. They're allowed to have a couple bad games. I'm sorry to tell everybody, but they're allowed to have a couple bad games. But the thing is, this is a very experienced team. And because they have those weapons, because they have Mahomes at the helm, they are always in a good position to take off and have a good rest of the season. Every team in this league is threatened by these guys. They'll be perfectly fine in the next couple games.
Isaiah, what about on the defensive side of things for Kansas City? Because that seems to be where most of their problems are occurring right now. What exactly has to happen on that side if they want to make another Super Bowl run?
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire right now. These guys are allowing 32 points per game, and obviously this is a passing league and a high-scoring NFL that we exist in now. But you can't allow those points. You can't allow teams to run down the field and simply continue on like the Buffalo did tonight. These guys were able to extend drives. Josh Allen was able to get loose, run for first downs, and move the chains. If these guys can't get off the field, they can't just simply rely on Kansas City's offense to continually bail them out. They have to find a way to stop offenses going forward.
You talked about Patrick Mahomes and his offensive explosiveness, and obviously he's still one of the best in the NFL. But a stat that stands out to me about Patrick Mahomes, he has 6 interceptions through the first 5 games this season, and 6 interceptions was his total last season. So what do you attribute that to? Do you think it's just defenses starting to figure him out a little bit?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think it's a combination of a few things. I don't think this offensive line is playing with continuity yet. They obviously have a couple new pieces that they added this offseason, and I don't think those guys have necessarily meshed yet. In addition to that, I think that these guys, because of that, they're out of sync. So what happens when you're out of sync? You start to try to force plays. You start to try to force things down the field. I think because of the success of their pass, they're used to being able to throw the ball over every defense. What we're starting to find out now is defenses are starting to play a bend but don't break type of coverage against these guys, and they're forcing them to play a lot of underneath type routes. They're going to have to be forced to take the short pass and turn it into some yak yardage, and that's something that is out of the comfort zone of Kansas City because they're so explosive.
And just to wrap this up, just how far do you see the Buffalo Bills going? Because next week they play the Tennessee Titans, which is going to be a tough game for them. But after
Yeah.
that, a pretty favorable schedule. Is the AFC going to run through Buffalo this year?
I think it very well may be. I mean, these guys are playing very well, as I mentioned. Ultimately, it's about winning ball games, and that's what these guys are doing. They have Bills Mafia behind them, one of the best fans in the league. And these guys have opportunity, as you mentioned, over this next 3 or 4 games to have a nice little winning streak going into their bye week. So watch
Mhm.
out, AFC. These boys are for real.
Yes, they are. So, of course, I asked you if the Bills might be a Super Bowl caliber team, but I'm going to take it a step further. We've been through 5 weeks of football. So, obviously, it's time to make your Super Bowl predictions, Isaiah. Who do you have going to the big game in February?
Right now, I am still going to go with Kansas City. I think that they're going to figure things out down the
Okay.
road, but I'm going to go with Kansas City and Tampa Bay.
All right. I love it. The Bucks. I think they're going to get back there too, but I think Buffalo might have the edge in the AFC. I'm rolling with it. I might just be really happy that Josh Allen won me my week in fantasy, so that might be the reason I'm picking them right now, but hey, whatever. Well, thank you, Isaiah, for joining me. It was another exciting night in the NFL. I'm glad we got to chat about it.
Thank you very much for having me.
For more insider analysis and local experts, make sure you stay tuned to your local Locked On podcast. Locked On your team every day.